This is B. Okay, let's get rid of all this. Rubber. You need a bigger one. This board needs patience, and I don't have. It takes time of thinking.
I'm sure there's quick ways to.
Oh God, I want my board back, guys. No, because we want to keep it this way. Okay, let's look at it this way. A is 1 inside and 1 outside. B is the same. There is 1 inside and 1 outside. Ah, no problem. I'm not an Englishman. Now it's become B. Okay. So 1 outside. That's your 1 set. Then you need guys, you're very clever, but you don't know what you've done with me with this thing. You need 3 of this. And you need 3 of this. So, and then you need 10 pieces of about 15 centimeter, just wires, nano coated. One of the easiest thing for you to do is once you made the coils from the beginning, when you are nano coating, when it's finished, when you made the wires before you nano coat, do something very simple at the end of each line. Just turn the wire back on itself. It's important. These are little things you will see. So when you've done the wire, once before, when you finished it, before you put in a caustic, most of the lines, when it comes to the end of the line, don't leave it open like this. Take it and just twist it back on itself. Because this way, energy is free. When you twist it back itself, the energy gets absorbed by the coil. So you don't waste any field. There are little techniques you need to do that you'll find out. It'll come handy at the end of the day. It's the difference between a good system and a lousy system and a system which doesn't work. So remember, just when you, for example, you made your coil, at the end of the line, both ends, all you need, before you put in the nano coating, just twist the wires back internally to themselves. Because remember one thing, with nanomaterials, we cannot weld them, we cannot solder them, we cannot do anything with them. The only way you can connect nanomaterials to each other, that the energy field transfers, is by twisting them around each other. No one up to now has managed to solder a real nano-coated wire. Understand the reason. The reason is, if you remember, if my thingy works, I need my hand. Oh. Ah, that's why the problem is. Now I found out. This little chap has 2 purposes. One for the finger, one for the pen. So I need to get the hand out. Slowly. You should have had this 2 weeks sitting there. Yeah, laugh. Yeah, learning. Yeah, I learned about the earthly thing and I have to teach you about the space thing. I'm going backwards. So you'll see when you go like this, that was your nanomaterial, the copper wire, this wire. And then you made the nanomaterials with it. When you have another nanomaterial, which let's say, error, database connection failed. What do I do?
That's your tie again.
That's what? My tie.
That's your tie.
Okay. I'll come next time with birthday suit. I think it'll be easier. There'll be no ties. But this time I'll watch when I come. Very, very sensitive. So now if this is the other wire, and you have the nano coating of this is the other wire, when you come to put the two wires together, these are nanomaterials. There is a magnetic gap in between. Nanomaterials, true nanomaterials, can never be soldered because there is a magnetic field in between. They slide over each other. So for that reason, in all your works, when you deal with nanomaterial and in these windings, in these systems, you can only turn the wire next to each other, that the plasma moves over the surface of each other. You cannot, like the traditional system, have junctions where you connect nanomaterials together, your wires together, and you screw them. The minute you use the screws, you cut through the nano layer, then you enter a matter state, then you have complications. You cannot solder them, they never. Yes, but it's no good. If you solder them beforehand, it's no good because the junctions dictates the flow as much as you need. That way you enforce it as good as being the same wire. Yeah, because you understand in the teachings of the plasma that plasmas are independent entities. You cannot lock them together. So now you see why you need it. When you connect these, you bend them at the end so the fields stay inside. And then you will see everything inside the loop stays with the loop. And it's a difference between a good system and a bad system. Secondly, remember one initial and important thing. If you nano coat and you still see copper on your nano coating on your wire, means repeat please. Means you're going to nano coat for a second time or a third time. Don't be afraid of nano coating. You can never damage nano coating. I tell you something very interesting. In the process of making these systems, you keep some of the caustic which you made at the bottom in a separate jar because you're going to need the caustic. The reason, remind me, I'll explain to you why, but I'll tell you in a way in advance that you remember. If I forget, then I'll explain it in more detail. Once you have made a nano layer, which now it has a connection with the matter state here, this state of connection will never be forgotten because you haven't separated the atomic structure totally. You still have atomic structure connection. So when you lose the nano material or gets blown up to the hot or heat, if that goes, in a short time, you'll find out the nanomaterial will start reproducing itself. It's like a skin, it grows up from the matter upwards. So you keep some of the caustic because if you remember It was a caustic which, at the right temperature, started the connection, this location. Now you can keep a caustic because if it gets warmed up a little bit and it blows up, that heat helps the caustic inside to recoat itself. So, you know, they say when you make a soup, you keep something base for the next soup. Keep some of the caustic, you need it for your base in the future when you're putting your system together. Just before the last, you close your system, when we come to Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you need this caustic just to get a brush and brush anywhere you've seen you scratch while you're assembling or whatever. You do the repair and it stays. You need it. So when you finish with the caustic, don't throw all of it away because it'll come handy for you to do it. So we'll leave you with this for today. How the first step has started. If you can put this together by tomorrow, I know a lot of people have been waiting for it. They've been doing it. If not, you will finish it by end of next week or the week after. And when you made the system and it was good, make a donation to Keshe Foundation for the system you received, that we can make system for the ones who cannot make it themselves. So we don't ask you to pay us. It will be nice to be able to give to the others who don't have and cannot do. I have to announce something very special, which is important to the foundation. We have opened our own research center here. If you're scientists who are in development, would like to develop new technologies, Keshe Foundation brings you in to work with us here in the Foundation Center. We are looking to increase the numbers to 2,000 to 3,000 engineers around the world. And at the same time, we work collectively with you and the government to change the course in a very rapid way. So if you are an engineer or you like to develop the space side of the technology, the energy side, the medicine, the health section, we'll support you. We give you the base here in Italy at the Keshe Foundation Center. And in turn, whatever developed, as we seem like today, it will be shared by public worldwide at the same time, simultaneously. This technology is the future of mankind into space. As I said before, what you see is a byproduct of the space technology in plasma. This afternoon, in the part of the teaching of the plasma, we teach only about the plasma, that you understand more what is to come and to understand more what plasma is. Tomorrow morning, we spend another hour or two to go to the next step. After you nano-coated it, we go around the world. If you want to show what you made, the coils the way you have made, it has to be a copy or near enough to what we show. We don't want to see your artwork because the artworks don't count. What it counts is by Friday, we have working systems that people can test. If you already made some coils the same, you want to show us, we come to your lab, we come to your houses, we come to wherever you want to take us to show us what you've done. And then tomorrow we go to the next step. And then on Wednesday, we go to the next step because there is a buffer system you need to produce for it. And then on Thursday, we assemble the plates. And then on Friday and Thursday, we test it. And then we all can measure and we go live to your houses. You want to go on the Zoom or whatever live stream and show what you achieved, what you received, what you have produced. That by the end of this week, at least a number of people around the world will have a free energy unit, which will be free to them in 2 or 3 weeks totally. But then on Friday afternoon, when we are live on satellite system, the camera crew are here already, then we show you how you can increase your power to around maybe 10 or 20 kilowatts. And then in a close disclosure with the government, we release 1 megawatt systems to the government. because normal people don't need 1 megawatt. Governments do. And we release a 1 megawatt technology to national governments in due course when they ask to know how to do it. Because 1 megawatt system is slightly different than 10 kilowatt system. It can be done very rapidly. Total cost for a government less than $1,000. 1 megawatt power station can be built for less than $1,000. We show it to you. That's a blueprint which I will release only to governments at that level. And then it will change the course because they can take the DC and even put an inverter on it. They have their inverters to AC if they want to use it. But they can still use a powerful generation power with 1 more megawatt. But that is only to the governments. We will not release that to public. It's impossible. Your maximum you need is around about 10 kilowatt. And if you have already placed an order for the new systems, we open the channel for what we call the support system. For that, you only pay, to raise it to 10 kilowatt, you only pay another €250. And we put it on the website from tomorrow, what is called increasing the power to 10 kilowatt. You need it to do it. It's a support system to allow you to reach 10 kilowatt use. But we announced this in due course. For it to be done, we have to open a website for it. Secondly, Keshe Foundation needs your support heavily because we just realized on Thursday that people in Belgium, we know who they are. They have written to the World Banks that Keshe Foundation is money laundering because of what you pay us to produce the system, to block the system, that you cannot receive your system, to discredit us. You know, they put the name of the Keshe Foundation to the World Bank and the national securities that we are money laundering. These are the drug traffickers who managed to send to the bank services, because they are laundering money, that we launder the money. They disguise their process. They knew what they were doing with the Keshe Foundation. So we have received information from our bankers that only from Belgium and Germany, these are the same people who set up all these fraudulent websites, they have informed the World Bank that your money is money laundering. So we are stealing your money and taking it to laundry to give to the poor. So you have to be aware how these, again from Belgium, sitting in Antwerp, and you know who they are, we don't mention names. These people now have started forcing the banks in Europe to close our accounts, that your money is a drug money. So it's your responsibility to inform the World Bank, your money is clean money unless you're buying units from us to launder your money, which is not ours. Because all the money which has come to us is clean, it's from your accounts. We are aware of one possible drug money which has come to the Keshe Foundation, which we immediately informed the police authorities in Italy, and we spoke directly with the Chinese government in respect that there is a possibility we received some money has been banked into our account from drug trafficking of one person who was close to the Keshe Foundation operating out of China. And we have documented it, we registered it to be clean. So if you see a problem, trying to tell you, this again comes from the same person who set up so many fake, websites and taken over the Keshe Foundation websites, that they are forcing the banks in Europe to say your money is drug money and we are cleaning it out. Please round to the banks that your money is not a drug money, it's only thieves indicating the others, not for them to operation to be seen. So we inform you to understand what is going on, that the terrorists of Belgium are still at work. Any other question? One question in the house here. Harder.
Hello, hello.
Yes.
Yes. My question is about, I understand that.
We can't hear the microphone. Let me see how bad it is. It needs a.
Hello, can you hear me?
No. You can use my microphone.
My question was about the winding, and I understand that the quality of the copper, the size of the copper, and the turns counts. So what about the diameters of the two coils?
What we have done, we use our own measurements. We use our own sizing, and what we see is if you take the big coil, the outer coil is about just about 12 millimeter, and the inner core is about just under 5.6 millimeter, because it has to slide in. It has to slide in, and you need a certain gap, but you'll find out with a nanomaterial, once you coat it on its own, it will not work. Because tomorrow we explain the next step, why and how. So you need to reduce and understand. It's like this is the first winding, the inner, and that's the inside of the outer if you want to look at it. You need a gap between the two when you slide them in. And it's about the right size. You need enough turn to be able to create continuity of the flow of a plasma. That's why we use a spiral.
Mr. Keshe, I think Richard is trying to show something there. Richard, do you have your camera on for a reason? Did you want to talk?
Hello?
Yeah, well, actually, yes.
Yes.
Good morning, or good afternoon, actually.
Hi, Richard.
Okay. I have these two cool. I have to put some volume on here.
Let us go to the full screen. Okay.
Yeah, adjusting my volume here myself. Okay, sorry. You said about the coil. So I've got an outer coil. Let me see. An outer coil with a long end.
The Dutch are very quick.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
And then you got an inner coil, and you slide the two inside each other, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you get two long ends, and then you feed those two ends back into the coil itself, or just one of these ends?
No. Yeah, the long end of it both have to, when you look at the starting point, both have to be anti-clockwise.
They are?
My God, you're a fast Dutchman, Richard.
Well, I already have this one finished.
This is the one I made yesterday. Okay, you put the coil through. Now you have a long piece. The other end should be much longer. It's too short. Okay, maybe in the right way. Now, bend it like a coil. Bend it all together, like a toroid coil, yeah? And then the end which is long, the long end, put
Yeah.
it center of itself, of the inner core, not the outer one.
Okay, the inner core should go through itself again.
Yes.
So yes. I make a full loop like this.
Yes, and it comes out. It has to be clockwise. It has to be clockwise. Your long end should come up on the top of your hand, and the other one goes right through. Yeah, it goes right through in just the long one. Yeah, till you get it out. Just the center one. The other one you don't need. For the magnetic outer core you don't need. That's for the inside one. And then you cut. That's all you need to do.
Okay, so I have the inner core now that comes with the long end. This is the long end coming out. Then it feeds back in through the coil through the completely, and then it gets out there.
Yeah, correct.
Right?
You saved a lot of headache for me tomorrow. Keep this video till tomorrow. That's what you call a Flying Dutchman.
Yeah, well, you're quick. That's what you said.
This is
Okay,
fantastic.
thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'll continue.
Pardon?
I'll continue working.
Stop advertising for the cigarette in the background.
Oh yeah, sorry for that. Here you go.
So now you see that's what you're going to get. You need a coil. This is very much like coils in tokamak, if you look at it. Tokamak, it's a copy of a tokamak. If you understand nuclear fusion, nuclear industry, you made yourself a double coil tokamak centrifuge system. But this time, the forces are made by the plasma itself. In fact, Russians spend billions. You can do it for a few cents. Sorry about the Russian colleagues, but sooner or later we come to each other. So how come we shorten this time again?
Just drag the top bar to the top of the screen and it'll go to full screen.
I've done that. It doesn't work. Database error. We need a team just to do the job, which is done with the ink and a chalkboard.
I'm sure that the 5 minutes of training that you had is pretty good for so far.
Okay. Thank you very much. There we are. I think we don't need to do it here. We're going to do it on the screen. So what it is, it's understanding how a total knowledge of man in energy has come together in such a simple system. Plasma technology, nanotechnology, understanding of the work of the decades of work in Russian Space Agency and in what you call tokamak system. But don't forget, to you is little windings and little caustic. But to develop this technology in such a smooth way that every man on this planet can replicate it has taken 40 years. Every correction, every step, every development. This technology was ready nearly 10 years ago, but we had to wait till most probably the human race was ready, could accept it, and now you do. To you, these are the little works, but when we come back on Friday, when you have tested your system from Thursday to Friday, you can report the changes. Then when we go through the workshop next Thursday, then you report how much more saving you see, then you understand more and more. And then when this week, by the end of the week, we show you how to connect this system directly to your car, then you understand how you start saving energy from the fuel. You don't save energy from the fuel. As I explained in all our teachings in past couple of weeks, it's very simple. The reality has been, the people around Keshe Foundation can tell you this better than I can, how I explained it. You do not save any energy. There is no 100 plus 1. All it is that you're used to fuel, whatever you call it, petroleum, or whatever. Diesel, whatever. And then nowadays you have an electric engine. You call it the hybrid. Now there is another fuel next to you, which is the plasma. This is the third grade. So when you use the plasma, you bring the energy of the plasma into your fuel tank plus your fuel. It's not that you're saving money, you're not saving energy. Now you're using energy which you have managed to separate it from the structure of copper or whatever. With electric cars, you still do the same. You have not bypassed, there is no, what do you call it, free energy, people who are running around. All we done now, we added a third energy as a main energy in the universe, free in the hand of the man. All the energies which we had up to now, diesel, electric, potential drops in the rivers, coal, these are all earth-dependent energies. For the first time, we have access to the energy of the universe, and that's why it looks so strange to you. The universe works on plasma, and the universal structure is plasmatic. So now you understand why it looks so strange, because it's just the beginning of the biggest revolution in the man-industrial revolution in this planet. And don't forget, Keshe Foundation Space Institute is a space program. We use this for flight without fuel, and in time, in the coming days, when we start teaching you about plasma, you haven't come here just to learn about the making of the power unit in the afternoon. We teach you about plasma. Tomorrow, as I said, we go back to the coil. In the afternoon, we teach you again more about the plasma. That you understand the plasma, the understanding of plasma is the future of mankind and the new energy resources which no government can control, no one can sell it to you, no one can disconnect you from it. If you're in Africa, you can use the roots of plants. If you are in the North Pole, you can use even the skin of the animals you eat for the nanomaterial to produce energy. Don't forget, copper is one state of matter, and the rest is the same. If you can use natural materials like the roots and the branches of the trees, they are already, because they work in the dimension of the GaNs as a free plasma, they're already there. You don't need to go through the nano coating. It's just for you to understand how to utilize it.